that's our weather out there today. We are now pulling away from port because it's too rough for a tender port today. So far, my cruise has consisted of canceled cruise port, canceled shows, and rude passengers. So what kind of cruise am I having? Today's video is brought to you by Babbel. Babbel is one of the leading language learning apps in the world. Hola amigos! Huh? That's right. I just came back from Mexico and I used Babbel while I was in Mexico. For instance, I learned how to say, Hay una farmacia cerca. That means, is there a pharmacy here? I love Babbel for the simple reason that I can do it at my own pace. It's bite-sized information. It's 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute little bite-sized information that helps you learn a new language. And that's what I'm trying to do. Learn Spanish to the best of my ability so I can communicate to the locals when I'm in places like Mexico. I also like the fact that they have all kinds of ways to learn. Everything from podcasts to actual teaching classes to little videos and stories about, people learning their experiences on how they learned a new language and their process of going through it. I love all the different ways that I can use to learn. Here's one of the ones that I've been looking at now. That's right, that helps me to recognize the language when I see it on a sign, how to put the words together and in what order.
¿Estás casada?
So what's one of the reasons you might want to learn a new language? Is it to communicate with a loved one, to a relative, to a person you met on a cruise like I do all the time, or to just experience a new language on your own? Why do you want to learn a new language? Well, by following my link down below, you can get 60% off your subscription. So why not check Babbel out and start your amazing journey on learning a brand new language for your travels. Thank you to Babbel for sponsoring this video, and remember, tenga un día fantástico. So you would think, with what's going on, that I am having a miserable time on the Caribbean Princess. I mean, we just had one of our cruise ports canceled. We had the experience of rude passengers, heckling Elvis. We've had, come on, heckling Elvis, really? People talking during lectures. And to top it all off, after rude passengers, we also had one of the Broadway shows canceled on us. So I should be having a horrible time. And I'm not. As I've said before, the thing you have to learn about when you're cruising is to be able to roll with the punches. Right? Oh, we couldn't get into port today. It's too rough a seas for tenders. Okay, we'll spend a day at sea. The cruise, Olivia here, the cruise director, and Ty, they're going to head out. Luke, the entertainment director, is going to make sure we have stuff to do during the day today. That's not too big of an issue. The fact that we missed one Broadway show, well, you know what? They moved up and added a performance of some comedians. In fact, on this particular cruise, we have 3 comedians on board. One is a magic/comedian, more comedian than magic. We have, and 2 straightforward comedians. And some nights they're in the theater, but on other nights they're in Club Fusion. So last night we got a chance to see 2 comedians participate in game shows. I've done the Yes No game show, and I won. That's 2 in a row, folks. Can you believe it? 2 in a row. I think this ship is my lucky ship for winning the Yes No game show. But as far as last night they had a game show going on that was like you had to do all these tasks like Survivor. So you had to stack cups, or you had to get ping pong balls out of this out of this box by attaching a belt around yourself and shaking your butt. You know, fun stuff like that. Just stuff that make you look ridiculous that are just a lot of fun to do.
You were born for this! I've never seen anybody shake like that. It's on the front now. What the? 45 seconds left. You're doing great. How many balls left over here? 2 more over here. Yellow team, 1 more? It's hard to see. It's moving very quickly.
And then, of course, the Broadway show we saw on I've seen it a million times. I've seen Bravo a million times. But it's still a really good show. And when you have a good singers and dancers, it really adds to it. And I love the fact that Princess still uses live musicians for their shows. Not every cruise line is doing that anymore. A lot of it's pre-recorded stuff. So I do like the fact that we still can get live musicians during Broadway shows and theater acts and that on cruise ships. I'm a big fan of that. Also, as far as the rude passengers are concerned, you gotta take the bad with the good. The more people that cruise, the more you're gonna have that one person out of 1,000 that's gonna be that person. And unfortunately, that's the person who's the loudest, and that's the person who stands out the most. So, am I having a bad time? No. First of all, the crew has been absolutely wonderful. The food has been really good. The company's good. I'm sailing with Tony, Jenny, and I've met dozens upon dozens upon dozens of people on this cruise who've come up to say hi. And I am eternally grateful when everyone does that. And like I said before, never ever be shy to come up and say hi. If I didn't have people coming up to say hi and watching the videos, I wouldn't get to do what I do. So I will always take the time whenever possible to do, to say hi, to do whatever, ask a question, whatever you want, whatever you feel. But yeah, you learn to roll with the punches. You learn to take the good with the bad. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was up getting ready to go ashore, and the captain came on the announcement and said, sorry, it's too rough a seas. We're going to have to cancel today's port. And tenders out there on these waves. It doesn't look like much from high up here on a ship, but those waves in a small tender boat, they're going to knock you around a little bit. So yeah, I've had a canceled show, Broadway show, which I'm a big fan of the Broadway shows. We've had a canceled cruise port. We've had rude passengers. And I'm still having a really good time. So yeah, learn to roll with those punches, everybody, and just enjoy being on a cruise. Well, I hope you appreciate this little video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation, even if there's a few bumps along the way.